A year and a half into the world's COVID era, a slow, erratic thaw is underway. Despite the new variants and fresh flare-ups, quarantines and lockdowns are easing. Travel worldwide is increasing fast, and restaurants and offices are cautiously reopening. Your businesses are part of this trend, and that includes your corporate governance. After 18 months, many of you are unlocking the boardroom doors and weighing if, when, and how to edge back toward in-person board meetings. You've learned a lot on just how much boards can do remotely, more than you ever thought possible a couple of years ago, but there's still a human need to connect for unstructured chats, give and take, personal nuance, the things that Zoom just can't deliver. Now, a full return to the boardroom remains pretty far off, assuming it's ever fully possible. And that means an in-between alternative, hybrid board meetings with some attendees at headquarters, but some still remote, is your next step in governance. In some ways, this will be more difficult than your sudden boardroom exodus in the spring of 2020. On that move to all virtual online governance, none of us had a choice. All of us were in the same fix, and we had to make it work. Missteps, improvisation, oversights happened, but it was that or nothing. And nothing governance would never be acceptable to regulators or your investors. Today's move back to blended hybrid board meetings is more gradual and voluntary, but it's also more uncertain. How do you decide who can stay remote, who shows up in the boardroom, and how do you make the call? Is unwillingness to travel an acceptable excuse from a director? And if you're mandating that company staff return, how do you justify the different treatment? And if you're returning to the boardroom, is it for better governance, because some members prefer it that way, or just because it's supposed to be that way? This makes the move back to some hybrid board sessions scary. When you locked down your boardrooms back in early 2020, everyone accepted some miscues and fumbles in governance were going to happen. Now, board oversights lose that COVID excuse. If some directors end up better informed than others, or a major board decision is fumbled between the in and out members, there's no excuse. You chose to go back to hybrid board meetings, and now you'll have to prove that they make your governance better. I'm Ralph Ward from the Boardroom for July.